We should be going on the air very soon,
What's Rocket Age?
and there we go. Rocket
Go to
Age.
space.
Yes, it's imagine like
Can you be a
19
monster?
1930s era like sci-fi. The rocket ships are all based on like nuclear power. And like Mars, Venus, Neptune, like all these planets in our solar system have life on them. So
They
like
get the nuclear power in the 1930s. Thought that was kind of before
it's
thing.
it's kind of like an alternate universe kind of thing.
It's supposed to be like Bioshock-esque.
No, it's not at all. It's more like Buck Rogers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really fucking hate that I get that reference.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I get that reference is because of Duck Rogers. But Rocket Age is fun. Basically, you are rolling around our solar system, and like the rest of the planets in the solar system, like most of them, have life on them, and it's neat because it's like that period right before World War II like kicks off, but instead of the Nazis trying to take over Europe and
They
stuff,
try to take over the moon.
well, no, they go take over Mars.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah. And they hold Mars for a while before the Martians are able to, say, get the fuck out of here. It's really cool. Venus is inhabited by 8-foot hyper intelligent ape creatures.
Everybody's fucking in a UFO.
Venus is literally uninhabitable in like every way. How did that change?
In this universe, it's sort of like a jungle planet.
I'm fine with it. Very not scientifically accurate, but maybe they just shot a rocket at or some shit.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, it's 1920s, 1930s, almost into the 40s, sci-fi sort of thing, and like the stories are very serialized as well. Like we've just been playing modules, and the modules have been just fucking fantastic.
I'm just still trying to get over the fact you said Duck Rogers instead of Duck Dodgers.
Oh yeah, Duck Dodgers in the 21st and a half century.
Yes. And I get the Buck Rogers thing because wasn't he like the weird spaceman stereotype? Ugh.
So you guys not started yet?
We're pre-showing at the moment.
Okay.
So how about this new job?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Oh, well, it's at a chain called Albertsons. You ever heard of that?
I have
Yep.
not.
I think I have, actually.
It's a grocery store. It just teamed up with another chain called Safeway to
Yeah.
make one great big super thing.
Yeah, Safeway's huge in like the upper northwest in Canada.
And Midwest.
Yeah,
We have
there's a bunch
Safeway
in
here.
Midwest. More down south Midwest.
I
just had a
wouldn't call
profound
Indiana
realization.
down south Midwest.
I mean, I don't think there's any Safeways in Minnesota, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, but you guys are weird. You might as well be part of Canada anyway.
So anyway, long story short, I tried to get hired on for freight work, which is basically taking stuff off the truck and putting it out on the shelf, but they didn't have any availabilities. The only availabilities they had was for the meat department and meat cutting. So
Yeah.
in the past few days, I've
Do
chopped
that.
up my hands pretty something fierce.
But it's going to be so
That's-
worth it in like a few weeks when you start getting it down. That's a fun ass job.
And also, that's a job that you can take, like, once you have that on your resume, you can go, like, anywhere and be like, hey, I can do this. And they'll be like, fuck yeah. If they have a position open, they're going to pick you for that job over somebody that they're going to have to train.
Definitely. I mean, are you guys, how much meat cutting are you doing? Like, are you, like, you're making burgers, you're doing steaks? Like, are you getting, like, half cows in, or are you just...
Well, I'll tell you here. Basically, I'm on the novice thing. Right now, they got me chopping a bunch of chicken and making things like asparagus, chicken, and what's the other stuff with the Swiss cheese? Cordon bleu, and few other things. Hand sliced chicken basically that's where I'm starting, and they're gonna move me up to meats as soon as I get all those done.
What do the more advanced people do? I mean, do you have a meat locker? Are you?
Oh yeah, the meat. There's an entire meat back room, and the guys.
Dude, you're gonna have. Yeah, Dog's right. Dog is completely right. If you're gonna learn how to butcher, this is exactly your foot in the door here. This is a fantastic job. You're gonna have a lot of fun.
Okay. I'll give it a shot, but I tell you, so far I'm always been a little bit slow at doing stuff. I don't know if that's just physically because I'm so freaking too fat, but whatever it is. So the immediate supervisor's giving me a little static about that, but I'm trying to get better and quicker.
Does he not understand that you're a fucking giant?
Well, I would hope so, being I'm right next to her, but geez.
You'll pick up speed eventually. Though,
yeah.
Like sooner rather than
maybe instead of cutting, you should ask her to beat the meat. You know, it seems like you'd have.
God damn it, Omega BR. Can we start the show? I'm sure the people that come here for wrestling talk are fascinated with our discussion of Rocket Age and butchery.
I just had a realization. Military barbers shave their privates.
Oh, God damn it.
You and Omega, what's with you guys tonight? Jeez.
Start the show. Episode number 301 of the Smark Snark podcast. Podcast.com for our theme song. And over there is my co-host, Mr. Omega BR.
I refuse to be on this show until we allow women to be on the planet.
Rumble.
We've had women on the podcast.
Multiple women.
And they were
At least two. I don't know if I would call two. I mean, two is multiple, but I don't know if that's the exact adjective I would use.
Oh, that's right. They just don't come.
Jesus Christ Almighty! And our technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
Over here, spinning the ones and twos, and by ones and twos, I mean the 1 and 2 cylinders on the revolvers that I'm holding to my head, hoping that one of them has a bullet in the chamber.
Well, I mean, I understand that you're upset that about Kane there, but
I'm more impressed with I'm more impressed with the double revolver, like the two barrels. That's gotta be a bad.
Why should you be upset? Kane won his primary.
I know Kane won this primary.
That means he's not on TV.
That's the point. No, actually today I saw a picture of a triple barrel revolver, which looked amazing. Speaking of looking amazing, it's Shao Kahn.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? And yeah, pretty good day here.
Better than the Ducks. Also joining us is Nat Jaster.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? And instead of some inane joke, I'm going to make a quick quiz. Do you think I should have McDonald's, Wendy's, or Mexican tacos?
Mexican tacos.
Tacos it is.
And Save Us Dog.
I'm not tacos. I can't save you. But tacos can.
No, but we put you in the tacos because you're dog.
He said Mexican tacos, not
Sort of
Chinese
like-
tacos.
That's where I was going.
Ooh.
Racist.
I was just talking about Yoshihashi.
Oh, God. All right, let's do the news. So, Sami Zayn was told why he would not be at the Greatest Royal Rumble event. Was not told, though it likely had to do with his Syrian ties and WWE wanting to keep it quiet. Among other things, talent were told not to mention Sami, the female performers, or refuse a handshake. The female rosters were reportedly paid as if they were on the show, while the Saudi General Sports Authority issued an apology for a backlash ad that ran in the stadium showing them, notably Carmella. Sumo Hiroki Suni was apparently added to the match after the Prince talked about wrestlers he'd like to see, including Ultimate Warrior and Yokozuna, and Undertaker too, unaware they had passed away. It was suggested that WWE will return in November to, I can't pronounce his name, Riyadh. Yep.
That's Riyadh, you fucking
Riyadh, that's what
uncultured
it is.
shits.
Whatever.
I've heard it 5 million times. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Gonna be
don't worry.
Real hard. Gonna be real hard to keep Sammy's involvement with the Syrian crisis, low down and keeping it quiet when the name of his organization is literally Sammy for Syria. You're not gonna keep that quiet. It's very well known that he is, and I'm pretty sure he is Syrian, or
Yeah, his
I don't
parents
know.
were Syrian.
Yeah. So that's exactly why he wasn't there. This is not a mystery. He was probably just not told he probably didn't want to go. I can't imagine he would.
He apparently went in when he was an extra in 2014 or whatever it was.
Yeah, he wasn't as big of a star as he was now, and he also wasn't quite as involved. He didn't have that charity back then. I know that for a fact.
Also, did he go as El Generico or as himself?
Himself.
Either way,
Maybe
it doesn't.
it should have been the debut of El Generico at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Just kept the mask on, the gimmick the whole time.
Oh, that would have been wonderful. That's wonderful.
It would have, it's kind of disappointing that I think in the Observer, Dave said something like, Vince has a saying, sometimes in this business you have to eat it to succeed, and I guess that's kind of true, but kind of not at the same time. They could have. The fact remains they could have not gone. They could have even demanded that certain things be changed, maybe a little bit. I don't know, but
Let's put it this way: there's a lot of money being thrown in somebody's face for this sort of event. I'm personally like. Have you guys heard about Corey Graves and all of this?
No, what's going on with Corey Graves?
So apparently he's got some heat on him because he tweeted because of the Instagram post that he had. I'm having a beer for all the people that couldn't be here, that sort of thing. and he was definitely regretful and made sly comments during the show about how unfair or unhappy that he was with the WWE being there and the state of how women are treated and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I gotta admit that flew right over my head that he did that during the show.
I'm sure he was not the only one. I would say that's safe to bet. He was probably one of the few that got vocal about it. And it's not... It is kind of the agreement of the majority of the people as well, too. So he's in a position where he can say something and he's going to do it. So why wouldn't you?
Do you think if they go to Riata, that Jeff Hardy will be there and he'll do a whisper in the wind?
Wait, weren't you mad at us because we couldn't pronounce it?
Yeah, no, I was just giving you shit. The whisper in the wind.
Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
You think it'll actually connect?
Maybe.
Dude, we'll talk about it during the show. But some of the things they did, I feel like to some degree they didn't know what they were getting into, but they really should have. I don't even know what to think about this whole thing.
It's like during the show, every little questionable thing, I was like, okay, they don't have women on the show, but they played them on that commercial, which was probably just an oversight. They don't want to make the Saudis mad, but they bring out the two Iranian guys to get beat up, which granted they got beat up, so it was a good, but you know what I'm saying, like just bringing them out in the first place.
Waving the flag, like this isn't the USA and Canada where there's a friendly rivalry and a little, we don't like you guys, but really we're close friends in all reality.
I mean,
these are countries that have literally been at war with in decades or less than that.
Even during the Rumble itself, when Fandango got eliminated and then Tyler Breeze came in and then Tyler Breeze jumped into Fandango's arms to avoid getting eliminated. And it's not like those two weren't wearing their usual gear and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, are they trying to get away with some stuff, or are they just
it feels like to me they booked it like they would book kind of any normal show, and they really couldn't. They booked it to be a big show, obviously. I think even wasn't even the big show there. Or not. I don't know.
It's funny. I mean, we can talk about this later, of course, but I thought it was funny. They have this big event, and then there's 0 title changes. And in fact, both major championships ended in fluky finishes.
There's 1 title change. We'll talk about that later.
Well, it was vacant to win. That doesn't really count.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a good point.
All right. Let's get into the miscellanea here. Santino Marella will host a new Behind the Lights show on Impact's Twitch channel. Tyler Breeze revealed he was supposed to get cut several times in NXT, including at the end of the E60 special, until officials saw him put forth strong efforts in his matches. The Page movie Fighting with My Family has been pushed back to March 1st of next year. After Bret Hart set up a phone call between them, Jake Roberts will drop charges against Davey Boy Smith Jr. for throwing coffee on him at WrestleCon, and the latter has apologized publicly.
No.
I'm not familiar with that situation, but I feel like probably Jake Roberts fucking deserved to have coffee thrown on him.
I'm so sad we're never going to know what that heat was about. And it's some old, juicy heat.
Oh, yeah. It's probably... it's probably got nothing to do whatsoever with Junior. It's about his dad, of course. So that's why, he got so pissed and threw the hot coffee.
I just want a GTA mod where instead of hot coffee, it's
oh, sweet God.
God damn it. Get out.
What was I going to say? The Paige movie is coming out then because WrestleMania time, and she'll be able to promote it then.
Yep.
Even though that's what they tried to do this year.
And Dead movie season too.
Dead movie season as well. Yes. Santino doing stuff for Twitches, for the Impact's Twitch channel should be fun.
Yeah.
TNA, kind of watchable.
No. You
Kinda.
you haven't seen the spoilers.
Oh no.
They reverted completely back to if all you've seen was the Redemption pay-per-view, just keep it in your head and do not fucking watch Impact.
You got it. I can do that.
Because they pissed away that goodwill real quick.
Okay.
Once again, LOL TNA.
All right. That's it, I guess. Let's move on. Need that exclamation mark there, Yango.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful technical producer. Can't even press the button. Finally. 15-minute time. 15-minute time limit. So we're gonna run through the GRR real quick. Cena went over Triple H.
Curtain jerkers, I love it.
Okay match, but nothing special. Basically every Triple H 20-minute match.
It was a house show.
It was the weirdest show ever because the matches in the ring were very house show, but the presentation overall was like better than Mania this year. It felt like WrestleMania. The pyrotechnics and the big entrances and like just the setting and everything and the way the stadium was lit. It was beautiful, and it was just so odd at the same time. Like just tons of pyro. Supposedly, the Saudi regime actually paid for that. That was part of the deal.
Oh, so that's why they did it.
I would assume money was paid because otherwise they don't really do pyro anymore.
Yep. Cedric Alexander defeated Kalisto to retain the Cruiserweight title. Not surprised.
Who cares? The
Well,
entire show is worthless still.
That was a good match, don't you think?
I thought it was a very good match. They had a lot of tons of high flying, a lot of stuff you don't really normally see, even in 205 matches.
It was a fine enough match, but it's still impossible for me to care about that title or the division.
This match didn't make me care because I knew that Kalisto was being used to put over Cedric, brother. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy defeated Sheamus and Cesaro to win the vacant Raw Tag Team titles.
Wow, the Raw team won the Raw Tag Team titles against the team from SmackDown.
No way!
I know, right?
Oh my god, the guys who were put together because they have nothing else for them and they want to work together, they won the tag team titles? No. Say it ain't so.
It's just depressing to see shit like this with the Revival on the roster just being tossed out like fucking geeks.
Yeah, it's gotta love like not using your actual tag teams, but just keep putting the title on two random guys.
Okay, so there is absolutely a concession that there is no love here for the Woken lovers.
I like them. They're fine. It's just the fact that this match was okay. But speaking of completely mediocre shit, holy fuck, Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal defeated Jinder Mahal to retain the U.S. title. Can I just say this? Jeff Hardy's worst matches is when he's on drugs and when he's facing Jinder Mahal.
Pretty easy to have a bad match when you're facing Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
everyone's worst
yeah.
match is Jinder.
I can't wait for Jinder Mahal to make money on the independent scene because he's going to make so much because he won the goddamn WWE title. And everyone complaining about how bad of a worker he is. because that's exactly what's about to
He's a
happen.
horrible worker.
Yep.
It's not complaints. It is fact. He is a bad worker.
Bludgeon Brothers defeated the Usos to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
I fucking hate the Bludgeon Brothers. That's all I have to say. It's really sad too to see the Usos, who have so much momentum on their side right now, and who have been, I mean, they've been on a run for the past year or so where they've been like undisputed, the best tag team in WWE. And they got smashed with a couple of geeks carrying Thor hammers.
Okay, so the Canaanites are not popular. But do you not think that they're even good at what they're supposed to be, which is a monster tag team?
They're okay. They aren't great. They're okay.
It's real hard to treat him like a monster when he was talking about at one point making wine and like solving Rubik's cubes.
Speaking of solving a Rubik's Cube, Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and The Miz in a ladder match to retain the IC title.
How much of a fucking geek is Finn Balor now with that finish? Holy shit.
Well, hopefully they do the thing that they're teasing that they're going to do.
Turn. Finn.
Yep.
Balor. They could.
Can they?
It's kind of
Into what?
It's pretty worthless without the club on his side.
Complete
I think
waste.
this will pay off. This is a long-term storyline that's going to pay off like at SummerSlam or something, but it's just the road there is going to make him look like a goof.
Can
Well,
they
that's
turn Finn right now, though?
No.
They need to.
They absolutely can't, though.
No, they really can't.
It really would not work right now.
No.
If
Because
the club was still on his side, then it could probably work.
Well, I was thinking like social media wise that they would probably get hit really, really hard if they turned him heel right now.
Well, let's put it this way. Name me some good Raw heels. Go.
Roman Reigns.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I said
the best
good
heel on
heels.
Raw.
I said good heels.
He'd be a great heel.
He is
the
a
best heel.
Yeah,
Do you
he's the
hear
best
them?
heel on Raw.
If
Do
you
you
want
hear the
someone to
crowd?
if you want someone to get cheered or not booed as much, put him against Roman Reigns.
All right, let's move on. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura ended in a double countout.
Wait, okay,
Did
never
it?
mind.
I don't even remember this match at all.
I didn't actually watch this
I just
pay-per-view.
remember the nut shot.
I'm going to say this. I'm kind of getting bored of the shtick of Shinsuke as a heel right now.
I'm getting bored with the nut shot thing.
Well,
Like, AJ, wear a cup, dude.
well, you know how this ends. The ref's gonna get distracted. AJ is gonna kick him in the nuts, and he's gonna win. It's such a straightforward story that it's getting to the point. But I love the character that Shinsuke is putting out right now. I think it's hilarious.
I think it's really good. Yeah, Shinsuke's doing a really good character. Undertaker defeated Rusev in a casket match. You are not true bros unless you and your bro have been buried alive.
Together in the casket, so you can be together. Yes.
By the way, Aiden English officially inducted into the Monster Heel Club. Aiden English is forever a monster heel.
I loved this match. It was a perfect Undertaker casket match.
I thought for like half a second Rusev might do the Taker dive over the ropes with like landing on him in English or Taker in English, but sadly that did not happen. Both the ladder match and the casket match were fine, but they felt like it felt like a house show again. It was like a good enough match, but it didn't feel like anything really all that special.
In a god-awful match, Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns.
So what the fuck was that finish?
I think I would have rather watched the Kennel from Hell match than this match. I find this match to be
It can't be
dumb.
that bad.
It's that bad. It was not good at all.
Yeah. Hey, remember how like they wanted Roman to win the title in Saudi Arabia so he would be cheered, and then he came out in Saudi Arabia and he got booed.
He got a big mixed roar. Like, that's what I describe it. He came out, there was a roar. It wasn't really a boo or a cheer. I mean, it was an open air stadium, so it's really hard to hear the reactions anyway. Well, some of them. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't really the place to do it, I guess. I mean, I guess it was if they really wanted to do it, but they didn't do it, so I don't know.
I really would love to know what they were going for with the finish, but it still doesn't make any sense.
The idea was that Roman was going to spear Brock through the cage.
Yeah.
Roman was going to roll off, and they were supposed to give the match to Roman. The referee allegedly fucked up, and that did not happen.
No. That is utter horseshit. There is no way a match of that magnitude you have a referee fuck up literally who wins it. That is not on any planet. Not in any
That
way.
is allegedly the story that WWE is pitching.
Yeah.
And from what I
They
understand
can fuck off.
of Alvarez and Meltz describing this particular match, that's what was the story that was supposed to be told.
That's utter horseshit.
Even though Roman won the match, quite obviously.
No. How to explain to me how Brock Lesnar was not out of the cage? Isn't this like football? If your back hits the,
you know how Kofi Kingston was standing on the pancake?
Yeah, okay.
At the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I get that.
So
Fence has holes in it. Brock Lesnar's shoulders are like fucking boulders and are like 90% muscle. You're telling me his back didn't press through that, getting speared, and hit the ground and then touch it first?
Both feet have to hit the floor.
It's
if you look,
so his hands can touch and his feet and his face can touch, but both
if
feet
you look at it, his feet were in the air. The part of the cage his feet were on, even if his feet touched the cage, that part of the cage was wedged diagonally, so it wasn't on the ground.
Yep.
It really is a stupid finish. I mean, honestly,
And then his promo the next night, bitching about it on Monday night. What a bitch! Why would you cheer for this guy? When this shit happens with John Cena, he comes out and he cuts this classic promo that's like, maybe I should have won, maybe I shouldn't, but I know I can beat you. Just give me another shot. And that's better than fucking just going out there and crying about.
Yeah, that's pretty much Roman's. Like, he's pretty much just a bitch. That's all his character is.
That's been the problem from day one, and they just accentuated it with this shit.
So from now on, do we call him Roman Tears Like Rain?
No.
Because he cries?
Leave.
Okay.
Ooh.
AJ,
what a stupid idea, though. Can we before we move on to this?
We've got.
That's just the dumbest
2
shit.
minutes.
I know, but seriously, are you fucking kidding me with that finish? Just fuck off.
It's an awful finish. And then Braun Strowman won the Greatest Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan's chest turned into mincemeat, and I was perfectly fine with the Rumble. It's how this year's should have gone.
I actually thought it was a really good Rumble. I mean, like any Rumble, especially a 50-man one, there were parts where, nothing was really happening. But I thought overall, the spots, the entrances, although I will say this, usually I can't tell, but it was super, super obvious this time that the intervals aren't actually timed. Like somebody would get eliminated and then immediately the 10 count would start.
Oh, God, yes. This was Vince saying, and now you go, and now you go, and now you go. It was never been more blatantly obvious than during this Rumble.
But I mean, as far as, Strowman comes in at 4, Bryan for Bryan not winning, he got his big story. He broke the record for length. Strowman just destroying everybody. I thought, there were no bad decisions really. I can't accept, maybe some of these people that nobody knew coming in, like poor 10 Mappa.
I know with the storyline, Big Cass eliminating Bryan is the but yeah. Can we just, before we move on really quick, that trophy and then that belt were both awesome. They're just
I love the green belts, but I want to talk about the sumo and the sumo. I'm sorry, and the big guy from Conan the Destroyer.
Oh yeah, way to put that guy in with Braun Strowman, and he's actually like an inch taller than Braun.
Yeah.
I love that they the Saudi royal family wanted Yokozuna, so they just went out and found some fucking random sumo guy.
But he was a Japanese champion for about
That's
12
great.
years.
I'm sure he's a great sumo wrestler. I've never heard of the motherfucker, and neither had 90% of the audience.
All right, let's do the stupid backlash predictions.
I would actually be okay if they just brought random people in, because then it would truly be a surprise for the Rumble.
Can I just say, Swoggle coming in at the Rumble, he was not truly eliminated, therefore won the Rumble. So,
Always.
Oh yeah, we're doing that again, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we're going to do this again. I am going to make a prediction now, and this is a bold prediction, but I'm going to say that co-branded pay-per-views are going to be the worst thing possible for this for WWE coming forward in the next 12 to 18 months.
Oh, absolutely.
Period. Even though but both answers are bad, and there is not a good answer to this.
There is a good answer to this, and the answer is fewer pay-per-views. Instead of both ones having to have a pay-per-view every month, you do it every other month or so. So each one has a branded pay-per-view every other month or so, and then the big four are dual brand pay-per-views. Boom, problem solved.
Anybody there?
Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That is a gross tag team.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, granted this is a special circumstance because they just had the greatest Royal Rumble. But, as far as these dual branded shows go, I think we're going to see a lot of multi-man matches. And not only that, but potentially these kind of throwaway matches that kind of, there's some reasoning to it, but, Strowman and Lashley against Owens and Zayn, that's kind of like, whatever. That's a Raw match.
It's a pick your poison sort of thing, because with the dual branded pay-per-views, you're going to have people throwing in random matches because they want to put them on the card, and the card's going to be smaller. Whereas with the single brand pay-per-views, you're going to have just throwaway matches that mean nothing because they need to fill the card.
That's true.
And the problem is pay-per-views have been 3.5 fucking hours instead of like 2.5 hours.
Braun is put into another useless match. Bobby Lashley, if he doesn't turn on Braun, looks like another guy. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just have the same shit that they've had shit on them for the past 8 months worth of booking.
I don't hate Lashley, but he always just struck me as a guy, Like when he was in TNA and he was like on top of TNA and he was holding all their belts at once and all that. I mean, I just felt like, it's just Lashley, He's just a guy,
Man, that December to Dismember pay-per-view win really ruined his career. I mean, it traces all back to that, and you could probably, make your own conclusions on that one. But
he never really he left before he really got the chance to be like a Batista or a, you know what I mean? But,
well, he got the feud with Durag Vince, and that's like the best Vince of all time. So
yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
No, Mastermind Vince is the best Vince.
I guess, but Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Big ass, ladies and gentlemen. Big ass.
Bold prediction. Daniel Bryan works the legs and knees as much as possible to take the big man down.
Of course.
Big ass and his big floppy man titties.
I like Cass. Cass isn't he's an okay big guy or whatever. I don't want this. Like, I don't think anybody wants this. Like, let him work the mid card for a little while, maybe.
Well, that's the problem. I think they kind of see Bryan as the mid card, at least for the time being. I mean, I flash back to WrestleMania 30, when he won both belts, and this Cinderella story, won both matches, and then his very first feud was with Kane, and nothing against Kane, but him and Brie Bella running away from Movie Monster Kane, and he's the world heavyweight champion. It's like,
Moving on, Carmella versus Cass wins.
I think Cass wins because they stopped the match for a stupid reason.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Bryan gets bloodied up or something. They stop the match because
awful injury angle or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Carmella versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title.
Please God, Carmella.
Charlotte loses after the Iconics interfere.
Yep.
Carmella's camel toe seems to disappear farther and farther inside of her crotch.
Oh Jesus!
Sad but true. Sad but true.
But no other crotch is revealed by this.
She gives Charlotte an eye poke, but not with her fingers.
Hey, look, it's Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title, and Nia Jax gets her first championship, maybe?
Already got it.
She
is champion.
Nia gives Alexa a mandible claw, but not with her fingers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is how little attention I've been paying. I didn't even know.
No one knows.
Well, you want to talk... You want to talk about little tits. You can't talk about them and what's her name, Alexa Bliss, in the same sentence anymore ever since she got a job.
A lot of people.
Apparently she already had them. She already had them. She just got new ones or touched up or.
So she became iconic as well.
Yep.
I never noticed until, if I had thought about it, maybe I would have realized it. But it's one of those things you just never notice until somebody points it out.
Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the U.S. title.
I think Jeff's gonna win.
Jeff wins, but Randy. But here's a spot. It twists a fate that turns around into an RKO. That's definitely going to be a spot on this.
Ooh, that's going to be a thing that happens for sure.
I was thinking Whisper in the Wind into an RKO.
Oh yeah.
Wait, how would that work?
Yeah, how would that work?
Well,
when he jump off of?
Well, when he flips back to land on him, Randy moves forward and just kind of jumps up.
Or
Jeff
Swanton.
Jeff would have to go in on him like a Phoenix Splash and then the RKO.
It'll probably be a Swanton into an RKO. That seems the most likely and easy
for them to do.
Both of those moves, they land on their back.
Yes.
Jeff goes forward for the Swanton. When his head goes perpendicular with the ring, that's when Randy kind of crops up, and as Jeff kind of is coming back down on his back, that's when Randy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If either of those things happen, I would lose my shit.
I mean, look, the thing about an RKO out of nowhere, it doesn't really have to work. It just has to look okay in that split second. So,
Evan Bourne.
Yeah, that should look fucking epic.
Yeah, because he lands on his face when he does the shooting star anyway. But I'm telling you, if he reverses that Whisper win into a fucking RKO, this is automatic flash on that.
Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the IC title.
Rollins retains.
Seth Rollins winning, yeah.
Man, again, they just had the greatest Royal Rumble, but a lot of these matches for this first dual branded deal is like, whatever. Like, we just
also Like I felt like the shakeup kind of spoiled a lot of the Greatest Royal Rumble and this pay-per-view because of who's on what show.
Yep.
So
It
it makes all these matches
after
pretty
the
much
show to do the
pointless.
changes. Should have waited till after the show to do the changes. Would have gotten a ratings pop. That's just me. The match I'm looking forward to, a Samoan named Joe versus Samoa Joe.
You know what? I want to say Samoa Joe wins.
I was just about to say, I hope Joe wins. I hope he wins. Not in a dominating fashion. I don't know if it's right for him to just destroy Reigns, but I do hope that.
Sounds right.
Well, I mean,
I think it sounds right.
Give him a hard-fought battle back and forth, and then Joe knocks him out with the coquina or something like that. You know what I mean?
I could see where Roman gets Pele'd, and then drops into the coquina, and then also we'll see a muscle buster in this match.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see where
Roman. Wow.
I can see where all of that happens, and then Roman kicks out and overcomes the odds and wins.
You know what? I could see them. Well, maybe they're not smart enough for this, but I could see them being like Reigns hits like 2 or 3 Superman punches.
Oh wait.
Wait.
I have the finish. Exploding ringside area finish. Double count out.
You've been playing too much fire, man.
I was gonna say Reigns hits him with like 2 or 3 punches. He goes for the spear. He hits the spear, but on the way down, Joe puts it into the coquina. Reigns passes out, and the announcers are like, he exerted himself so much, with those punches and that spear, and if he had just landed a different way, Joe would have been finished, or whatever.
Well, Reigns needs a win back because he didn't win his title back.
Does he?
Yep.
Does he really?
No. You know what he needs? He needs a losing streak.
That's what he
That'll
does.
get him over.
Yeah, that'll get him over. Hopefully that's the idea.
Dude, think of how much the fans would love it if he lost.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they would cheer the fuck out of it every time he lost.
I hope so. I really hope that Joe taps out Reigns, though. I think that would be the
That's not going to happen.
AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a no DQ match for the WWE title. If AJ Styles doesn't come to the ring with an extra strap-on cup, I swear to God, this angle is awful.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely Metal Cup time, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Give me medieval chastity devices or 600, Alex.
Just a cod piece. He just comes to the ring wearing a Kevlar cod piece.
Shinsuke Nakamura keeps going after the Jesus zipper.
What?
Jesus.
I have never ever heard it called that.
AJ
called it that before.
Yeah, he called it once on Talking Smack. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're done.
Right in the Jesus. I love his gimmick. Love it.
Nakamura's going to win this match.
It makes me laugh every
Yes,
single time.
Nakamura will win the match.
The dick punching world champion. That'd be fucking amazing.
He'll be technically the second Japanese WWE champion, first being Inoki, but it's not recognized by WWE because they're afraid of Inoki.
Yep, they are. They're not afraid of Inoki. They're afraid of his chin.
I mean, aren't you?
Oh, yes, it's its own planet with its own gravitational pull. Of course I'm afraid of something like that existing on a person. I mean, Jesus, remember Midian?
Oh, God.
All right, Dairy Queen drive-thru. Shao Kahn with the ratings.
Alrighty. Let me get my computer situated here. God damn it, computer. Okay. And this week in the ratings, Impact to 308,000, down from the 373,000. Raw with a 3.066 million, down from the 3.104 million. And SmackDown with 2.436 million, down from the 2.549 million. And that was this week in the rating.
One number related thing that was not mentioned, that's not going to be mentioned anywhere in this, is the WWE stock price. On the first, it closed at $39.70 per share. It topped $40 during the week. The company now has a market value of $3.068 billion. To give you guys some reference, before the WWE Network started in 2012, the company was worth anywhere between $15 and $17 a share.
Yeah, it's the highest it's been since they debuted it.
I think, yeah, they finally got back to the IPO. Only took them, what, 2 decades?
Only took them 2 decades, but they got there.
Hey, never forget what it's like to buy an IPO.
Save us, dog, with the birthdays.
Okay, happy birthdays today to the legendary Stu Hart, also to Black Shadow, to Cuchillo, to Billy Joyce, to Lester Welch, to Ivan Vaktarov, to Joe Zahentner, and then Alejandro Cruz Medina, all having birthdays today. Then tomorrow, happy birthdays to Mr. Fuji, to Dory Funk, to Sammy Steamboat, to Angel de la Muerte, and to Eddie Lopez. And then on the 5th, happy birthday to the greatest TNA knockout of all time, Brooke Hogan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then happy birthdays on the 6th to Vic Christie and to Ronnie Etchinson. And then on the 7th to the late, great one and only Owen Hart. Also to Hercules Hernandez on the 7th. And then on the 8th, happy birthday to Giant Ochai, to Todd Ole Olson, and to Tex Cox. Fuck yeah, I'm stealing that name. Also, happy birthdays to on the 9th, to Bastion Booger, to Sean Osborne, to Jose Nieves, and to Boris Volkov. Those are the birthdays. Tex Cox, Lone Rain.
I just want to give out a shout out to Mucka Singh, the one, the only, the incredible.
How about Tex Cox and his white horse? You know what I'm saying?
Tex Cox and Tugboat. You call it? Yeah. It kind of writes itself. And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega VR.
Yes, This Week in Wrestling History, circa 1983, where Bret Hart defeats Leo Burke for the Stampede North American Heavyweight title in Regina, Saskatchewan, ending Burke's 8th reign. This began Hart's 6th and final run with Stampede's top title. Jump to 1991, where Eric Embry ends Jeff Jarrett's 5th USWA Heavyweight title reign in Dallas, Texas. And in 1998, Dave the Rave and Rip Rogers defeat the Lords of the Ring, Rob Conway and Nick Dinsmore, to win the OVW Southern Tag Team title in Jeffersonville, Indiana. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
Happy trails this week to Kane, who won the Knox County Mayor Republican primary by 17 votes. Make sure you get out and vote.
Citizen Kane
counts. Citizen Kane.
It's real.
It's real.
2018 rules, man.
Happy trails to Arya Davari, who says he's received death threats from Iranians after his segment at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He had a big tweet about it, basically stating that he apologized, but he thought that, adults could tell the difference between fact and fiction, which I thought to be shots fired, especially over there. That's
yeah, but I feel awful for him. That's like his big return to the company, and that's what he gets.
Arya Davari.
Nice.
Arya Davari.
This isn't Sean. Yeah,
not Sean.
Same.
Well, Sean probably got it too.
It's they both got heat for it, and they they shouldn't have done it in the first place. It was really stupid.
All right. So, what should we watch this week in wrestling? Who am I going to call on first? Probably the guy who hasn't been paying attention. Not Chester.
Oh, I've been paying attention, but as for a match that really grabbed my attention, excuse me, the only thing I can really point you in the direction of was last night's NXT, because they had one match that I thought was interesting for storyline purposes and not much else. Bianca Belair versus oh God, I'm going to blank her name, aren't I?
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae, thank you. And that it was an okay match in of itself, but it pushed forward the storyline of Johnny Gargano. Now, whether you think that's a good or a bad thing totally depends upon whether or not you think that while Johnny's out, Candice should be having pushing his storyline or just having something to herself. But it's an interesting way, at least to me, how they're booking it.
It might be much better if they'd actually like push her into a storyline of her own, but what do I know?
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of a dumb storyline, but they're treating it respectfully, at least. It's not like a total joke, so I'm okay with it. But it is. She'll get her own time and her own spotlight here soon enough. I'd rather not see her get fed to Ace or Ace of Spades or whatever the fuck she.
Queen of Spades.
Whatever.
Save us, dog.
More like the Two of Spades.
Save us, dog. What should we watch this week in wrestling?
I don't know. Man, I'm drawing like a complete blank right now. How about this? Go back, because Lucha Underground is going to be starting up here shortly this summer. And most of the third season is really not that great. I can't remember which episode it is, but there is a street fight between Killshot, aka Shane Strickland, and Marty the Moth Martinez, which is one of the best street fights I've ever seen. Not a lot in season 3 is very good, but that match is phenomenal. Find it, watch it, and there's really not much else in season 3 you need to see. Don't worry about it. And then watch season 4, because it'll probably be miles better.
Yank, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
WrestleMania 14, Kane versus The Undertaker. I figure since we've got Kane news, why not pick one of Kane's best matches to watch?
Here, here.
Yeah, O'Connor. What should we watch this week in wrestling?
Oh boy. Yes, I'm in the same boat as Dog. I've been pretty much drawing a blank too, but you know what? The SmackDown 6-woman tag match just for the obligatory Asuka match. Why not?
Omega BR. Omega BR.
What?
What should we watch this week in wrestling?
Great.
I think you should watch from the. Did anybody say the greatest Royal Rumble match yet?
Nope.
Honestly, that was my favorite match from the actual show. I thought it was well done. You know, I didn't feel bored. 50 men. It lasted 90 minutes, something like that. You'd think, everybody on the roster who wasn't important enough for another match. You would think the worst, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. And plus, Titus O'Neil was in it.
I wondered if we were going to get through the entire show without one person mentioning what happened to Titus.
He will be forever known as the biggest fucking geek in his entire life.
I mean, listen, the guy was lucky enough to be where he is right now, but this has kind of made him. He's got at least another year because of this. They had a T-shirt on it. These things are, when you're a guy in a position like Titus, these things are a godsend as opposed to a detriment. So,
it's even more of a godsend. There was no Titantron on that side of the ring, because a lot of times they have that. If
Oh,
this
yeah.
would have been anywhere else,
Anywhere else, he would have
been really bad.
smacked his head on it, and it probably wouldn't have
Really
been that
hard.
bad. It would have stopped his falls. I don't think it'd have been that bad, but it would have.
It's the way that he hit that apron was kind of reminiscent to how hockey players get boarded into the boards, and if you hit like head first, it can really fuck you up.
Oh God, yes.
It's a very good thing that it wasn't there. So it's just a.
I'm just glad. I'm just glad there wasn't something under the ring that really fucked him up.
By the way, the people who are trying to compare this to Shockmaster, I get it, but it's not even close.
No, not even close.
That was literally the first time you saw the Shockmaster, and that's what he does. Titus has been a geek for years now. It doesn't mean it's just another geeky thing.
Plus the fact, like, he was running as all Rumble guys do. He was running not as fast as he could, but pretty close, and he tripped. It's not like he had to it's not like he had to move 2 feet and completely whiffed it. You know what I mean?
I am going to recommend that you watch from Wrestling Hinokuni Naito versus Suzuki for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
All right, that show happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that tonight.
Yeah, I knew that show happened, but I haven't watched any of it.
I haven't watched it either. We haven't done a replay in West yet.
I don't think we have, but I was able to catch it at a little bit of that match. And
I totally forgot it was on. I fell asleep.
It's fantastic. You guys are going to love it. All right. Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Make sure you go like, subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Can we get 2 likes?
We can get 2 likes.
We already got
definitely get 2 likes.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, of course we have. We've gotten 2 likes before. Jesus. Thank you all for listening. Really, really appreciate it. Like this, share this, subscribe, make a comment. Start saying stuff so that it starts appearing in like everybody else's recommended feeds. That'd be great. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Smash that like button there. Follow us on Twitter because that's where somebody in this room will rant at you during Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night SmackDown, Wednesday night NXT, Thursday night podcast, Friday night random Japanese show, Saturday night random Japanese show and or UFC, and then Sunday pay-per-views. And then we do it all over again and then get back to you on Thursday. Thank you all for listening. Still no close.
Brooke Hogan for TNA Hall of Fame 2018.
Hell yeah.
I'm okay with this.
Claire Davis.
Claire Davis? Who's that?
What you call it? Claire Davis for TNA Hall of Fame.
Who?
Wasn't that
Claire Lynch?
Claire Lynch, that's the word. Word.
Oh, yeah, you would.
Good night, Hollyoaks.